There was no reason to refuse. Failure would educate them. That was our conclusion. I was assigned to observe their inevitable extinction. The transport arrived 3 cycles later. It looked disappointingly ordinary. No massive warship. No advanced shielding. No impossible technology. Just one industrial landing vessel carrying construction machines and 32 humans. Primitive. That was my first mistake. The hatch opened. The rain had already started. Our observation drones immediately retreated beneath reinforced shelters. The humans walked outside. Without hesitation. Without panic. I assumed they had misunderstood the weather warnings. Perhaps their translators had malfunctioned. Perhaps their species lacked danger recognition. One of them looked upward. Another stretched both arms. Several actually smiled. Impossible. Acid touched their protective suits. The outer polymer immediately began smoking. Sensors screamed. Surface damage accelerated. Estimated equipment lifespan dropped below 6 minutes. They should have returned inside. Instead, they unloaded cargo. Boxes. Metal beams. Portable machines. Nobody ran. Nobody shouted. Every movement followed a calm rhythm. I recorded behavioral notes. Species demonstrates delayed fear response. Recommendation: improve survival instincts before future expeditions. My assistant confirmed the analysis. We both felt satisfied. Science remained correct. 5 minutes passed. The rain intensified. Visibility collapsed beneath white chemical mist. Our drones lost optical clarity. Then something unexpected appeared. Walls. A structure. A shelter. It had not existed moments earlier. Now it stood in the center of the corrosive storm. I enlarged the image. Impossible. No automated factory. No orbital fabrication. The humans had assembled it manually. 5 minutes. My calculations required 43. At minimum. The shelter sealed itself. Pressure locks engaged. Internal environmental systems activated. Construction complete. I checked every timestamp. No errors. Perhaps they had secretly transported prefabricated components. Yes. That explained everything. Humans were not fast. They simply cheated. I submitted the correction. Confidence restored. Then the rain continued. Hour after hour. Day after day. Acid concentrations increased beyond projected seasonal limits. Even our orbital probes detected chemical anomalies. VX-441 was becoming more hostile. The human shelter remained standing. Its outer surface slowly blackened. Panels dissolved. Replacement panels appeared. Machines moved constantly. Humans never stopped repairing. I misunderstood again. I believed they feared destruction. I believed constant repairs proved weakness. A stronger civilization would construct something permanent. Humans settled for temporary survival. How primitive. That belief lasted exactly 4 days. Because the shelter expanded. First another chamber. Then another. Pipes emerged beneath the ground. Power systems multiplied. Storage domes appeared. Observation towers rose through the acidic fog. Every damaged section became larger after repair. They did not restore. They improved. I stared at the growing colony. Each attack from the planet made it stronger. That made no biological sense. Creatures defend themselves. Humans upgraded themselves. I requested deeper behavioral analysis. The psychological department replied quickly. Pattern detected. Humans consistently treat disasters as engineering problems rather than existential threats. Recommendation: increase environmental pressure until behavioral adaptation fails. Excellent. Finally, logic returned. The Council approved Phase 2 testing. Storm amplification satellites altered atmospheric circulation. Acid density increased 18%. Wind velocity doubled. Lightning frequency tripled. Any known civilization would evacuate. The humans organized a barbecue. I watched them gather beneath reinforced roofing. Heat. Food. Laughter. Music. The storm outside dissolved stone. Inside, they celebrated. My translator insisted the sounds represented enjoyment. Impossible. Perhaps rituals before extinction. Yes. That fit available evidence. Species acknowledges unavoidable death through communal feeding behavior. I archived the conclusion. Then one human left the shelter. Alone. Without authorization. Without escort. He carried only a toolbox. His protective suit had already suffered visible corrosion. Sensors estimated 7 minutes before failure. He walked toward the damaged communications tower. The wind nearly threw him across the rocks. Acid splashed over his visor. He kept walking. I assumed emotional instability. Perhaps exile. Perhaps punishment. No rational organism risks itself for equipment. The tower collapsed before he reached it. Metal twisted. Power lines snapped. Excellent. The mission had finally failed. The human stopped. Looked upward. Then continued anyway. He crawled beneath burning cables. Climbed shattered support beams. Attached replacement components. Worked with both hands while acid consumed the outer layers of his gloves. His suit alarm activated. Still he continued. 8 minutes. 9. 10. Our medical database predicted irreversible tissue damage. He finished repairs. The tower activated. Signal restored. Only then did he return. Slowly. Calmly. As if surviving had never been questioned. Medical teams rushed toward him. I finally understood. Humans sacrificed individuals to preserve the colony. Cold. Efficient. Mathematically acceptable. A harsh species. I almost admired it. 3 days later. The same human was repairing another tower. Alive. I checked the records. Same genetic identity. Same face. Same voice. Impossible. His previous injuries had disappeared. Our biological specialists blamed administrative error. Someone had confused personnel files. Naturally. Science could not be wrong. I accepted the explanation. Then I noticed something else. Every repaired worker returned. Every injured engineer resumed construction. Every exhausted builder appeared stronger the following day. The pattern repeated again and again. My certainty began to fracture. Either humans possessed impossible replacement populations, or the acid world was failing to kill them the way reality insisted it should. For the first time in my existence, I became afraid of the answer. The fear spread before the evidence did. That should have been impossible. Fear belongs to instinct. Evidence belongs to science. In my civilization, instinct always surrendered. Now mine refused. I ordered every recording replayed, frame by frame, molecule by molecule, every injured human, every damaged suit, every repair, every return. The numbers never changed. Neither did the conclusion. Humans kept surviving. Not because the planet spared them, because they refused to accept its verdict. I rejected that conclusion immediately. Refusal has no chemical properties. Defiance cannot repair cells. Hope produces no measurable energy. Our laws remained intact. Humans had to be cheating. There was no other answer. I requested permission to inspect the colony personally. The council approved. They expected me to expose the deception. So did I? Our shuttle landed 2 kilometers away. Even with military-grade atmospheric shielding, the hull hissed continuously. Acid never rested. It searched. It consumed. It waited. The human colony did none of those things. It moved. Nothing stayed still. One team replaced damaged walls. Another extended underground tunnels. Another harvested strange black stones from nearby cliffs. Children carried tools twice their size. Children. I stared through the observation glass. Our species never exposed offspring to hazardous environments. Young minds required perfect stability. Humans brought theirs into hell. An elder noticed my shuttle. He waved. Actually waved. As though greeting a neighbor instead of an alien scientist. Ridiculous. Their emotional priorities were defective. I exited through 3 decontamination chambers. My protective shell weighed nearly 90 kilograms. Each step triggered atmospheric alarms. The acid immediately attacked my armor. Warning lights flashed crimson. Estimated safe exposure: 14 minutes. A human approached. His suit looked patched together from at least 7 different materials. Scratches covered the visor. The gloves did not even match. He extended one hand. "Our shelter's open if you need it." Just that. No demands. No fear. No suspicion. I ignored the gesture. Diplomatic rituals waste time. "I require your medical records." He shrugged. "Sure." No negotiation. No deception. Too easy. Definitely suspicious. Inside the shelter, warm air surrounded me. Dry, clean, comfortable. I checked my instruments twice. The atmosphere matched ideal habitation standards. Outside, acid peeled stone apart. Inside, someone had placed flowers beside a dining table. Flowers. On VX 441. That alone violated probability. I assumed they were artificial. They were not. One human noticed my interest. They're adapting. Adapting? Plants do not adapt within weeks. Evolution requires thousands of generations. He smiled again. Humans smiled constantly, usually before proving me wrong. They looked dead at first. He poured liquid into the soil. Now they drink the minerals. Impossible. Plants cannot rewrite biology that quickly. I collected samples. Analysis would expose the trick. It had to. Then I reached the infirmary. Beds lined the walls. Several workers rested quietly. One woman had severe chemical burns across both arms. Fresh injuries. Pain indicators extremely high. She noticed me looking. "You here for the science?" I remained silent. She laughed. Again. Laughter. Always laughter. Even damaged. Especially damaged. Her medical monitor displayed accelerated tissue repair, far above every known biological limit. I recalibrated my scanner. No error. The cells truly regenerated faster after repeated exposure. No, not exposure. Recovery. The distinction disturbed me. Each healed injury left stronger tissue behind. Acid damaged them. Healing improved them. That contradicted every survival model ever written. I contacted Orbit immediately. "There is foreign biotechnology here." The council answered within seconds. "Evidence." "I cannot identify it." Silence. That embarrassed me more than failure. Then the colony alarms sounded. Not weather. Movement. The ground shook beneath my feet. Every human reacted instantly. No screaming. No panic. Everyone already knew where to go. Children disappeared underground. Engineers grabbed equipment. Security teams rushed toward the northern ridge. I assumed military invasion. Wrong again. The mountain moved. Not collapsed. Moved. An enormous rock formation unfolded. Legs emerged beneath layers of mineral deposits. Eyes opened inside crystal sockets. A creature. Ancient. Camouflaged. It had slept beneath acidic storms for centuries. Now it had awakened. Length: 100 meters. Mass: unacceptable. Its first step shattered an observation tower. The second crushed storage containers. I searched our database. Nothing. No classified records. No fossils. No warnings. Even VX 441 still held secrets. Excellent. The humans would finally retreat. Instead, construction sirens changed tone. Not evacuation. Deployment. Forklifts raced toward the creature. Excavators accelerated. Cargo drones lifted steel cables. Workers shouted measurements. Not battle commands. Engineering instructions. My translator malfunctioned. It had to. No civilization attacks predators with construction equipment. One engineer climbed onto a bulldozer. Anchor point 3. Another answered, dig deeper. Dig? During an attack? Absurd. The beast charged. Its acidic saliva carved trenches through solid rock. One direct hit dissolved an armored vehicle. Humans scattered. I nodded. Finally, instinct prevailed. Then they regrouped. Exactly where they wanted. The fleeing had been planned. Steel cables tightened. Massive support pillars erupted from concealed pits. The ground collapsed beneath the creature. Not naturally. Intentionally. They had spent days reinforcing weak geological layers. Not for buildings. For this. The monster crashed into a pit nearly 60 meters deep. Excavators immediately buried its legs beneath reinforced debris. Concrete pumps activated. Liquid stone flooded the crater. The beast roared loud enough to shake my skeleton. Humans kept pouring. No celebration. No hesitation. Just work. Always work. Within 18 minutes, the creature stopped moving. Silence returned. I could not speak. Neither could my assistants. One question consumed every processor in my mind. How? The answer arrived unexpectedly. The same engineer who had greeted me removed his damaged helmet. His hair was white with chemical residue. His face carried fresh burns. He looked exhausted. But his eyes studied the destroyed beast. Not with pride. With calculation. As soon as it heals, he quietly said, it'll probably come back stronger. Another engineer nodded. So will we. They returned to repairing broken walls. No speeches. No victory. Just another task. Another problem. Another solution. For the first time, I questioned whether humans were adapting to the planet, or whether the planet had begun adapting to them.